Good afternoon. This is Dr. Campbell, and believe it or not, tomorrow concludes week 2 of our classes. And so there are a few points that I would like to go over with you. Overall, I'm really very happy with what you all are doing in the class. You seem to be on point. You're understanding the concepts, you're grasping the concepts, and especially when you apply the concepts. And so the first point that I would like to address is in your discussion post, make sure that you're not just summarizing what happens in a film, but that you are actually addressing those prompts that are given to you by applying cinematography concepts and language uh, to your analysis of the movie. This will really help me to see how much you understand and if there are any gaps in the knowledge. So make sure that you're doing that. If you're just giving a summary analysis, you'll see that you probably scored a 2 out of 3 on the discussion post, but excuse me, just a summary. But if you are summarizing and analyzing so that I can see that you're applying the concepts not to just what's discussed in the classroom materials, but also to films outside of the course, that really helps me a lot in knowing that you understand the material. And also at the same time, you'll automatically be addressing the prompts that I've given you. You'll be addressing them a lot better. So make sure that you do that. Second thing I want to address with the discussion post is that, and this was my error, I've disabled your ability to create multiple threads under each post. So for example, in the Imitation of Life post, we had 5 different threads, which makes it kind of awkward when you're trying to follow the conversation. I intended for that first thread that I created for everyone to post underneath that thread. So for weeks 3, 4, 5, and so on, you're only going to be able to post through the initial thread that I created. You're no longer going to be able to create your own posts. That's just for the discussion post for the movies themselves. Of course, in the Q&A sections, in the course, the other sections that we have where I can address questions that you have about the course, you will still be able to create your own threads. But specifically, again, this is when we're talking about the films. Make sure that you're posting. I've set it up now so that you have to post under the initial post that I created. Then that way we all get to see what everyone has written, and you don't have to go in and out of people's threads because that's a bit disconcerting. Finally, on discussion post, it's great when you attach a Word document to your post, but do make sure that you cut and paste. Again, this is about creating continuity, and it's a bit of a pain to click on that, have to go outside of the classroom discussion space to read what somebody has written and then to come back into the space. So if you want to ensure, which is a great idea, that your post makes it, and you're saving your post in Word documents, go ahead and cut and paste the post into the discussion board, and then also attach the document. That's a much better way of handling that so that we keep the continuity of the conversation going. And then finally, be sure in your film analyses that you are using direct quotes and paraphrases. I made sure that I commented on this in all of your initial practice film analyses, and I also commented about this in last week's video to the class. So I'm re-emphasizing that again, because if you do not use direct quotes and paraphrases, you will not score higher than a 7. Regardless of how well written your analysis is, you do have to incorporate those direct quotes and paraphrases from the class text which I have given, which you have been assigned to read. So make sure that you're doing that. Thursday, we begin week 3, and our focus is on soul food. One of my favorites. Well, all these movies are my favorites. One of the reasons I assigned it to you. But this is on Black Family Film Week. And so I hope that you will enjoy it. Again, if you have any questions for me, feel free to use the question Q&A discussion forums or to send them to me by email. And if you feel at any point that you need to set up an appointment with me, we can do that. We can use Blackboard Collaborate system, or we can use Skype so that you can have a real-time interaction with me.